All-American basketball player, best coach in the history of sports, intelligent mentor, inspiring author, and unbelievable leader are all titles that could unarguably be attached to legendary coach John Wooden. John Wooden is perhaps one of the most unavoidable and recognized figures in sports history, and easily is the most revered college basketball coach to ever exist. For this reason and many others, today he will be presented with the Most Inspirational Coach Award. Being an avid college basketball fan and a below-average Division II basketball intramural player at Grand Canyon University, I am both honored and shocked to be presenting this award. First, I will dribble in to Wooden's accomplishments. Next, I will take a step into how these accomplishments have impacted others. And finally, I will take a shot at explaining the Most Inspirational Coach Award and why John Wooden deserves this distinguishing honor. To begin, let's look at the incredible accomplishments of John Wooden and the records that he has set, which today are untouchable. Wooden was a fantastic basketball player. However, he was an even better coach. John Wooden has made incredible accomplishments both for himself and for his teams. According to a 2010 April 10th article from the UCLA newsroom, Wooden was the first person and remains one of only two to be inducted into the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame as both a player and a coach. Wooden also led UCLA to 10 national championships in 12 years, 7 of which were consecutive. At one point, too, UCLA dropped 88 consecutive wins, and while he only coached there for 27 years, he rallied in 620 wins and only 147 losses. In Wooden's prime, UCLA was feared, respected, and untouchable. These records hold the same status. However, Wooden was more than just a coach. He was a mentor, he was a husband, a teacher, an inspirer, and much more. One reason why this is so is because of his famous Pyramid of Success. According to an undated UCLA Bruins article, Wooden preached that being your best when your best is needed was just as important in the game of life as it was in the game of basketball. Wooden states that success is a peace of mind, which is a direct result in self-satisfaction in knowing that you did your best to become the best that you are capable of becoming. Wooden's renowned Pyramid of Success exhibits how you attain this peace of mind or success that I just mentioned. So Wooden was obviously inspirational on the court, but off the court, he's a man of God. He was a leader, an author, a teacher, a mentor, and touched the lives of so many. So now that you have learned how great of a coach Wooden was, let's look into Wooden as a person and also into his legacy. As we discussed, John Wooden was an amazing coach. His knowledge for the game was absolutely incredible. But his way of coaching and the type of man he was what truly made him so distinguishable. Wooden set a perfect example for his players and was perhaps the most personal coach to ever exist. According to a 2012 New York Times article, legendary Arizona basketball coach Lute Olson stated that the man who took over Wooden's job upon his retirement had the toughest job in college basketball. This truly was an impossible situation too, because Wooden left an everlasting effect on anyone that he came in touch with. In the previously stated article, the author quotes how players would oftentimes go to him for life advice, not just basketball advice, and oftentimes it would be about controversial subjects, including consuming alcohol or smoking marijuana. In most instances, a person's coach is the last person that you would go to for such questions. However, this is what made Wooden truly different. Among the quotes that Wooden has coined, he is still best known for his Pyramid of Success. I personally have been on a soccer team in which this was utilized, have heard it in a Bible study, and have also discussed its possible applications within the business world. John Wooden transcends far beyond just the world of basketball. My favorite Wooden quote, or Woodenism, can be found in a 2010 ESPN article, and it states, "Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you truly are, whereas your reputation is merely what others think that you are." Everything that Wooden preached can be taken and used by anyone, and it was when he was alive. So now that we have looked at Wooden's multiple accomplishments, we will look at what makes this man qualified for this award. As we all know, the Most Inspirational Coach Award acknowledges coaches who not only exhibited excellence within their sport, but also inspiration elsewhere. The Inspirational Coach Award started in 1995, the first recipient of which was Vince Lombardi. A coach's accomplishments within their sport are immediately seen within their records, their wins, their championships, etc. However, unfortunately, their legacy and inspiration are often best seen after the fact. For this reason, the Inspirational Coach Award is rarely given away and is awarded in remembrance of each coach, whose times have unfortunately passed. However, this adds exclusivity, meaning, and prestige to this award. This can be seen in some of the best winners, whose accomplishments and attributes can be derived from a 2012 Bleacher Report article. Vince Lombardi, who passed away in 1960, made such a mark on professional football that his name is now inscribed on the Super Bowl trophy. Bear Bryant, who led Alabama to 6 national championships, will forever be in the hearts of college basketball fans. Red Auerbach, an NBA coach who truly focused on team dynamics, rallied in 9 national championships and also broke the color barrier by drafting the first ever African-American basketball player and having the first ever entirely African-American starting lineup. And now Wooden, who has set records in college basketball that will never be touched and that are unrivaled, who carved the pyramid of success and touched the lives of millions of others, will now join this elite bunch. So now that we have seen the monumental life and impact of Wooden, let's conclude. First, I dribbled through the accomplishments that are Wooden's life. Next, I took a step into how these accomplishments have affected so many others. And finally, I took a shot at explaining the Inspirational Coach Award and why Wooden deserves it. On behalf of every college basketball player, coach, or fan, any sports player, coach, or fan, or anyone else who just admires Wooden or has been touched by his teachings, I welcome to the stage the wizard himself via hologram similar to that of Tupac and Michael Jackson, Mr. John Wooden.